good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition to know beyond the shadow of a doubt, you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And I'm very excited to introduce you to my guest today. JoAnna Poisick has over 15 years of experience working with children and families of varying learning challenges like ADHD, dyslexia, anxiety, depression, autism. There's a long list. We all know there's a long list of those, right? She works with all of them. She provides extensive training in writing, literacy, executive functions, behavior management, breath work. Love that. We're going to talk about that. Visual issues, attention disorders, all kinds of stuff. So JoAnna listens to the unique needs of each student and their family and uses a holistic approach. What a concept. A holistic approach to make the plan that works for them to succeed. So she values teamwork amongst the students support team, and she's passionate about being to helping her clients every step of the way, which is important because you don't want to drop them halfway through. You got to help them every step of the way. So she is currently living in Florida, and I kind of wish I was there too. It's 20 degrees where we are, so let's talk about that for a second. Okay, let's bring JoAnna on. JoAnna, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. This is gonna be fun.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good stuff. So I have a couple of things I want to do right up front before we even get into your story. And because of the type of show that this is and just the type of people that I have on here that are amazing, I want to ask this question right off the bat. On your hardest days, when it seems like it's not everything's going wrong, and on your darkest days, how do you still maintain hope?
Because I just know there's hope. I know it's there. And when what I'm going through is very different than what other people might be going through, right? There's that saying, right? There's always the bright side, right? Look to the sun, shine. And that's what I want for others, really encouraging others like I do myself, like the growth mindset. How can I twist this to lift myself up? Sometimes it's the hardest thing we do, lift yourself up. But once you master it, you've got it.
Love it. It's true. Because we always it's talking about, everybody talks about focus on others, especially in like a service-based, thing, right? It's focus on others. But what do you hear in the airplane all the time? Put your mask on first, right?
Yes.
Got to maintain you first, So now I love that. So, all right. So we're going to talk about a testimonial real quick, and then we'll dive into your story. Tell me about somebody you were talking about an elementary school age student that you helped.
Yeah. It was great. A very behaviorally difficult child to work on schoolwork, right? When it's struggle for you, you don't want to do it. So you're always kind of putting up a fight. It was especially challenging between that mother-daughter relationship. In this family, mother helped with the homework. It was rough. Fights when I was with them, fights when I was coaching with them. And it was hard. And then one day I happened to pick up my phone and I saw a message saying, we got straight A's this marking period. And I was like, that's it. And I could just tell in the context of the message, mom was thrilled. I'm sure the child was thrilled. She said, we can't wait to celebrate. And that's what I want for all of the clients and families that I work with. I want them to celebrate every day, every positive moment.
I love it. And have a reason to celebrate because they're making progress and doing the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm going to put your QR code up here. And everybody just, by the way, anybody in the audience that is watching this today and here's something that JoAnna says and they go, light bulb, or, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to her. I have a question. Like, this is, you can reach out to this website. You can also go to here, right there. if you're watching on E360, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube. Facebook and YouTube are super easy to comment on, of course. And so if you're watching this and you hear something that rings a bell or you want to ask about, comment. Just throw a comment in there, and JoAnna can get back to you and answer your questions. And then also, of course, the website has a place to contact her as well. So, all right. Kick this show off here. What motivated you to become an occupational therapist?
What motivated me? Great question.
Of the neurodivergent, like of all those kind of with those issues, like that's a tricky one, man. So
Yeah.
how did that come about?
It goes back. I was in the 6th grade in middle school, and we were doing service projects, getting volunteer hours. A friend invited us, a couple of girlfriends, to go with her to play buddy ball. It was basketball sport. And
Nice.
You help children with disabilities play sports. I was into sports. I loved it. After our term was up, we had to do 3 weekends. I was like, I need to keep going back. I loved it. It just filled up my emotional cup. It made me feel great. I love seeing the other kids have fun. I was just a teen, I just loved it. And thanks, Mom. She brought me back every weekend because I wanted to keep going. And that's where it started. That was like my love for really helping people with different needs. And then later on, I grew into the field of occupational therapy. My near and dear to my grandfather had a stroke. So I learned about occupational therapy there, and bringing back those meaningful activities, the connection, the engagement into your body, right? And then back into life. And I was like, done, sold. This is it for me. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm going to help people. I'm going to help people in need, live fulfilled lives, and be happy.
Nice. And so did you start off just kind of in the field, and like people were just coming to you, and then like what attracted you, or what attracted you to the neurodivergent crowd, but what attracted that population to you? I mean, because if that's a major part of your community now, what happened there? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. So it's such a diverse population.
Yeah.
Right. They can get lost. There's a lack of services, or maybe there are a lot of services available. Like, how do I get them? How do I afford them? Where do I find this help? And I've taken on this mission with Sensational Students that I want to bring awareness to the neurodivergent community, to anyone in need, whether you are diagnosed with something like ADHD or dyslexia or not. If you're struggling, you don't need to be going through life struggling. So
Right.
I just want to bring awareness to that, right? These are hidden things. No one sees. You don't see the person walking down the street and you're like, ADHD, dyslexia,
Right.
struggling in school. You don't see that happening, but those people are feeling that. Those families feel that. And I've just been called to it.
You don't have to be pointed out when you have something going on, right? You don't, because I mean, for me, I've had some crazy side effects from brain surgeries I've had over the years. And even if it's not visible to somebody out there, I know what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, with so many of these people with all these neurodivergent things, you don't have to get a reaction from somebody to be conscious of it and self-conscious of it sometimes.
Yeah.
So no, it's crazy. And if anybody out there can relate, man, give us a thumbs up in the comments, man, because I'm sure there's people out there going, ooh, me, because there's so many, and there's such a wide range of them. So and of course, parents, when it comes to invisible stuff like that and neurodivergent stuff, I'm sure parents feel frustrated. They feel, like, how do I help my how do I help my kid? What do I do? Because maybe they've never experienced this before. Maybe they have 3 kids and only one of them is neurodivergent. How do you, like, what do you do there?
Yeah. And you're absolutely right with that. I handle that a lot as a parent. I find that the biggest thing is possibly feeling embarrassed or ashamed, as if you're not doing enough or doing the right thing. And that's not the case. or that you need to fix it. You don't need to fix anything. You just need to figure out how to thrive with what you have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
With what you have, like I mean, really, it's just, you don't know what you don't know. So you work with what you have,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
until you start gaining tools. Yeah.
Yeah, identifying those strengths, right? Everybody has strengths. We all have areas we want to improve on. No person is perfect, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah, the only thing perfect there is the word perfect. That's it.
Right.
So you got to work with what you have. You got to be self-aware. And if you're not, find some ways to do that. And children, right? When we're talking about your students, your kids, they're learning. They don't know how to be self-aware.
Yeah.
And to identify their strengths, or they might think they're really good in math class, but on their report card, it says needs to try harder. And there they are like, I thought I was,
Yeah.
So
Right.
that can certainly take a toll.
Oh, tell me about it. Math has never been my thing. So that was very good. Yeah, that was exactly right. Yeah, I've never been the math guy. And so I'm sure there was plenty of comments like that on my report card too. How come he's not trying harder?
Mhm.
You have no idea what's going on in my brain. I'm trying so hard. So yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's right. That's gotta be some kind of there's misconceptions out there about that too. Like what people are actually going through based on versus what people think about
Yes.
some of those students, right? Are there some misconceptions you run into pretty often?
Absolutely. The classic, they're staring out the window. You don't know why that child is staring out the window.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't sleep good. Maybe there's trouble at home. Maybe the parents are going through something together. Maybe you're in a single family home and it was just a rough night for mom or dad. Maybe you're raised by your grandparents too, and they just can't connect with school. They're old school.
Right.
Maybe you didn't eat breakfast. Were you offered breakfast? Right? There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we don't see, or we're so fast paced and wanting to get that good grade on that paper to pass them along in class to show mom and dad, and you don't really know what's going on underneath there, So then to
Yeah.
send those labels, you're lazy, you're daydreaming, you're not trying hard enough. That's harsh. You got to take a step back and connect.
Well, and especially, I was going to say especially a certain age group, but really anybody from K through 12, man, they're going through it. Junior high and high school is really rough too. But anybody, if you're pointing out a weakness in somebody, and even if it's unintentional or like failed, that's just you don't know what that's doing to that child. Like you got to be really careful about how you talk about some of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to how about like parent-student conferences, like parent-teacher, parent-student, parent-teacher, that happens at home, parent-student conferences, parent-teacher conferences, that happens in the, is that a factor too? Like I'm sure plenty of battles have been waged, at those kind of meetings, and you get to deal with the aftermath of that, right?
Yeah. So when I'm coaching parents, we usually talk before those meetings, and I give them questions to ask and stuff. And usually the parents come back and it's like, they told me just work on this. They're acting out in class and doing this. Okay. So they told you everything that's like not working out well. And then they leave you with work on it at home. What does that mean? What does work on it at home look like as a parent? Doing extra assignments together? Being a little more strict? Taking away technology? Is that truthfully working on it? So that's kind of where like my coaching comes in, right? Or any coach that works in this field will come in and help and work out those kinks. Otherwise, it's year after year of the same feedback and yet no change.
Because school is one environment.
Yeah.
Kids are in school all day, and then they come home to a totally different environment, and they say, work on it. Well, you can't, it's almost impossible to work on the same thing at home that you can work on at school, because it's a totally different environment. So how do you deal with that? You know, is that, I mean, is there a way to do that even?
You know, it's usually the battle. It depends on what they children need to be working on, right? If it's extra assignments or whatnot. Reading comprehension is usually a big one. Math, writing, students not finishing their work. It's a big one I get. Or they are doing their work, but then not handing it in, or even now not submitting it online.
Right.
And then it's, why didn't you submit it? And do you think a child who doesn't really like school is going to do an assignment and then not submit it on purpose? You know,
Right.
There's a big process, a lot of executive functioning involved. They probably didn't not, so they were probably so done after doing it. It was just like, ugh, great. Slam the laptop shut and walk away.
I am so done. Yeah. Did you hit the send button? Yeah. It's true. Well, and not to mention, if there's inconsistencies between what they're experiencing in school and what they're experiencing at home, and what, right? Like if there's like inconsistency will kill any effort so fast, you know. Is that something that's pretty common to deal with too? Like the like differences?
Yeah. And really, we know consistency is key in kind of overcoming any challenge or improving in any area. This is hard. There's a lot of lack of communication, I find, that parents are getting from school and whatnot. One family I was just working with this week said, work on this math assignment. And it was just the math test, reprinted out. Okay. Did the math teacher send you the work involved? Because it was an online test, so they just clicked their answers. Where's the scrap paper they wrote on? You know, the child told me that they had scrap paper. Where's the scrap paper? Which ones did they get right? Which ones did they get wrong? All you know is they got a 40. Ooh. And the children don't even remember. So what's going on there? And that lack of communication causes some of these inconsistencies.
Yeah. And some of that, well, you know what? Most of that is probably not even the fault of the teacher. They're working with what they've got too, right? Yeah. They're working what they've been handed by maybe the administration or the school district or whatever. So it's kind of it's kind of a big old mess in some places. So
it certainly is.
Yeah. So, you know, we're going to take a quick break. I feel like this is a good spot for a break. So we're going to do that real quick. And then when we come back, I kind of want to, let's dive into that a little bit. After the break, we'll definitely talk about another success story. So stick around for that. Definitely. And then, you know, I mean, walking through this program for a student, you know, I kind of want to talk about like kind of what that looks like, because it's, because every program's different, every student's different, right? So, we'll do that at the other side of the break. And everybody stick around. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Vinna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships. right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I just want to touch base on something about our amazing sponsor, Dunamas Marriages, real quick before we bring JoAnna back. Now, marriage is fun. Anybody that's been married for any length of time, whether you're a newlywed and you're all been married under a year, or you've been married like my wife and I've been married over 25 years, it doesn't matter. There are still things. There are always things. And you know what? I don't care who you are, your marriage can always be better. Even if it's awesome, it can still be more awesome. So I cannot say enough amazing things about Dr. Pauline Dillard and Dunamas Marriages. They, Catherine and I, my wife and I saw them in 2008, and it completely flipped our family upside down and inside out in the best possible way. They use kind of an intensive model to just walk through a lot of stuff that people deal with and equip you with tools so that you can use those tools next time when it pops up again, not if, when another thing pops up, because it always does. So they do an amazing job. Pauline is incredible. I can't wait for you to meet her. Please, scan the QR code, go to dunamasmarriages.com, and she will have a consult with you and see where she can help you. It's pretty awesome. I cannot tell you how thankful my wife and I are for Pauline, and our kids are too. They just don't know it. We've been using this stuff with the kids too, and they don't even know it, but they're better for it. So it's pretty awesome. All right, let's bring JoAnna back on here and continue the story here. All right, let me grab that. There we go. All right, now we're talking. All right, everybody, scan that QR code. By the way, if you are curious about what we've been talking about, scan that QR code and or comment right here on Facebook or YouTube and ask a question, and we'll get back to you. So, all right. So, tell us about maybe this time, maybe a middle school student that you have a good testimonial for.
Yeah, middle school. Oh, so much going on in middle school for these guys.
Best time ever. Yeah.
Best time. A lot of changes, a lot of behaviors in a different sense than some of those elementary kiddos. But I was coaching a mom and her son, and they were having trouble socially fitting in, struggling with ADHD, taking a huge hit on that self-confidence. And they were in the car coming home. She calls me up and she says that he told me he enjoyed his day. And that was it. He handed in his homework. He enjoyed his day at school. We put together a new kind of like how to get your homework done plan, because that was one of their biggest challenges. And she was following the plan for a few weeks, and, ups and downs, some ebbs and flows with it. And then the change in behavior started coming. And then the fact for her, it just melted her heart when she said, I had a great day. I enjoyed my day, is what she told me. And again, that's what it's all about, right? You want a happy child to come home to.
Right. Totally. Oh, yeah. It's so much easier as a parent when your child is not like, you don't have that one more thing layered in there. There's enough fun to be had as a family with middle schoolers and high schoolers in there without that. So yeah, that's huge. So if I said if I should have said when, because it's when a child walks into your program feeling maybe defeated or discouraged or, borderline like angry about what's going on, because that can be a thing. What's the first thing you do to help them?
First thing I do. So the program is coaching through the parents and the children, right? And your first homework assignment that you get from me, go have fun. Go do something fun. Laugh, engage, no phones. I prefer no phones, and to go have fun. Do something your child likes to do. Do it with them.
Nice.
Go to the playground, go outside, be silly, cook. Go bake some cookies. If they drop flour on the floor, throw some back at them and just enjoy the moment, because laughter and fun is great. And, sometimes for the teenagers, this is hard. For some of those middle schoolers, as we just spoke about, it's hard to kind of get into their world. They're going through a lot of changes just in their body alone.
Yeah.
And I'll even say, do they like playing a video game? Again, not my favorite activity. If they like it, go do it. Go do it together and just connect. You honestly cannot go wrong.
Right. No, it's true. It's so funny. You almost have to kidnap them out of their room, honestly. You have to like kick in the door and be like, all right, you come with me. We're going, we're leaving. We're going to go leave the house. I don't tell them to leave their phone at home because I don't want their head to completely explode, but maybe leave it in the car when we get to where we're going.
Perfect.
Yeah. Or give it to me. I'll put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then go get coffee or go to lunch or go downtown and walk around. There was one time my son and I did that. We headed to my favorite coffee spot downtown, and there was a parade. There was like a parade for the Pikes Peak or Bus Rodeo or something. I didn't even know that was a thing that was going to happen that day. But we're sitting there and it's like, what is all the noise? And we had a parade to watch. It was like cool. So you never know what's going to happen. Just head out somewhere and see what happens. And inevitably, I mean, I think he actually had a good time. It's like what without his phone even. So it's possible, everybody. It's possible. So yeah, that's awesome. So you also talk about teamwork, which is
Absolutely.
huge. And I'm guessing probably part of that is teamwork with you and the parents, and then teamwork with parents and their kids, and all just everywhere, connecting everywhere.
Yeah, all of it. Blend it all up.
Yeah. So how do you do that effectively as a parent, like with your teen? Like some people are having trouble enough, they're teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
So how do you approach that teamwork thing?
Yeah. So teamwork, we need it, right?
Yes.
We need the teamwork there. And just kind of like we just spoke about, right? How do you get in, especially with those teenagers? Younger kids, they're still magical thinkers. You can get in pretty easy. But those teenagers, as they start to get older, even young adolescent, it's hard to get in. So that's where that connection piece is going to be huge. And again, it's a tricky dance, but it's okay because you as a parent, you're not alone. I'm here to support you, right? So don't be discouraged if you're like, all right, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to try to go play video games with him this afternoon and see how it goes. And he really shuts you out. That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't be discouraged by that. Try again, try something else. Maybe then just talk to him about it. Because you're going to have to get in some way.
Yeah.
And keep with it, right? We even spoke about consistency. Keep with it. Maybe that was too much, too harsh. Maybe just let him play the video game with, don't kind of yell at him to shut the door. I don't want to hear it. Shut the door. Maybe leave the door open. Comment on what you're hearing, maybe.
Sure.
Few comments. You got to slowly get in there. And again, as a parent, you don't have to worry about this. You made the hardest step already, which is to sometimes admit that you need some help. And it's okay to get support and want support to make your life better.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part. And you will slowly and eventually get in there.
Well, and part of that, but yes, absolutely. And I noticed I did that with my son who loves, Xbox is the thing, and I went up there and we were playing, and one of the games, he's like, oh, you should down this, you should get this on yours, and play it too, because it's really fun. Mm-hmm. Like, know your limits, parents. Like, seriously, I downloaded this game because we have an Xbox in his room and then we have one downstairs too. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll play it. And then we'll play it together next time and I'll see how far I got and all this. It was so complicated. I have never played such a complicated video game in my life. I'm not used to that. I'm used to Nintendo. Super Mario Brothers, man. You run around, bang your head against stuff, and coins fly in the air. It's not complicated. So basically all I'm saying is know your limits. Like because if you're there and you're like frustrating them because you don't know how to play the game, right? You're like, how do I do this? What do I do? How come it's doing this? That's not going to be anything that'll help. It's probably, unless they really like helping you, I guess. But I don't know. That seems like that'd be more frustrating for them than anything. So, but simple game, maybe.
Simple game. But you know what? Don't skip over that part. He gave you the invitation.
That's true. You
got the invitation. That is the win.
Yes.
You're not good at, let him teach you. Or even if he says, no, Dad, this is not for you, then bow out gracefully. I'll go make a snack,
Yeah.
You got the invitation. You got in, and don't skip over that step as a parent either. Those little invites, where they bring you into their world. Embrace
you're right.
Yeah.
That's true. No, that's true. I keep thinking because you want it to go well and you want to get from here to here, and maybe you only get from here to here that day,
and that's okay.
Small victories are still victories, right?
Absolutely.
So nice. So, okay. Yeah, no, that's true. I've dealt with that a lot over the last couple of years, man, in business and with the kids and with family. It's like small victories are still victories, So, so let's talk about for a minute. You have a 90-day program that I'm sure when people go to the website, scan the QR code to go to the website, they will find everything they want to know about it. Tell us a little bit about that and what it's designed for, because it seems kind of cool.
So I have a 90-day transformative program, Skyrocket Success, parent-child transformation, overcome your learning challenges, whatever it may be. I walk you through it. I have 5 steps that I take you through. As a parent, I take you through them first. It's a self-paced program, so there's no time stamp on it, right? You're going to complete it within 90 days, but you don't have to stress, what if I can't make the meeting tonight? I have a baseball game to get to with my other child. Don't worry, self-paced. Right. And I work the parents through my 5 steps, and then we slowly start integrating your children or your child into these 5 steps. Nice. I'm a believer too, if you're not experiencing it yourself, you're not going to know how to feel that change. A lot of the times too, when people come in as an occupational therapist, the kids come out feeling great, loving life, smiles, and like, I wish I can go to OT. Here's your chance. You have to go through it yourself. And that's what's going to make it stick. It's not just, I'm going to give you this activity and you're going to tell them to do it. That's not what kind of program this is. We are working through it. We are ironing out every little detail that's going to work best for you. And it's also trial and error, right? We're humans. We are not perfect. So not every day it's going to go perfect. And maybe we want to modify something. Maybe part of the plan isn't working for you as a parent. So if it's not working for you as a parent, it's probably not going to work for your child either, right? So then right there, we've caught an issue that usually gets overseen by programs that just go, okay, fix the child, fix the kid, fix the kid. Yeah, it's group effort, teamwork.
Yeah, you can't just, it's kind of like when you go to, like I was talking about dunamis marriages. Sometimes when you go to counseling, it's like, fix her, will you? Or fix him, will you? He's the problem. She's the problem. No, you got to do it together.
Yeah, you got to do it together. You got to go to do the work. You can't just go to the gym and expect to see results. You got to work at it while you're there, and find the right balance of cardio versus weightlifting or whatever it may be that works for you.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what I'm here to work you through.
Totally.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. No. And that's, and you use all kinds of different stuff. I think we talked about, I mentioned, breath work and movement and executive function training and all the things, like you use all kinds of stuff. It's not just, here's a list of stuff to go home and go over with your child. There's all that is important.
Yeah. It's great that it's such a holistic approach. Because again, every child's going to be different. Even every parent is different, right? You might experience something we do in the program together and say, all right, let's try this routine with you worked. Let's try it with your child. Okay, totally doesn't work for them. Different personalities. That's fine. Let's make it work for both of you, right? So as soon as something starts to go wrong or not feel right or not work for you, all right, we are going to fix that. We are going to modify. It is super adaptable. And again, a lot of the learning challenges I get in the program, it's the writing, it's the literacy skills, math, the executive functions. They do the work, they don't turn it in. The behavior in class are a lot of the issues that I get. And sometimes it's a very simple fix. Sometimes also it takes the parent. Remember, you already did the brave part. You're signing up, you're seeking out support to advocate more for the child too, and bring that awareness to the school, to the teacher, to whoever needs to know.
Yeah, because everybody's got to be on the same page. You got to tell everybody what's going on, or people are going to miss it, and then they're going to not right. And there's that consistency part again,
Absolutely.
So yeah, everybody's got to be on the same page for sure. So what? And the other thing is helping your child know that they can actually do it, like they're capable. Like
that's the biggest win from the program, right? If you're struggling in school and your needs aren't being supported the right way, and you're not given the ways to thrive, your confidence is low, your self-esteem is low. Of course you don't want to try. Why would I want to try when it's hard? And writing's hard for me, but yet you're going to give me a writing assignment and you're going to make me write it. That doesn't work for me. We know this, but yet the assignment keeps getting presented in the same way, so sometimes it's little fix. Let's use speech to text.
There you go.
Let's copy it. Let them feel successful, because in the end, every parent I ask before they sign up for the program, what is the goal for your child?
Yeah.
To be happy, to be successful, to thrive. All right. Pen and paper, they're not thriving. Let's let them type. Thriving.
There you go.
And it's so simple. And that doesn't make them less of a student. That doesn't mean they're taking the easy way out. Yeah. They're getting the work done and they're being successful. And that's what you need as a child so that you can be successful into your adult life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that makes me think of a graphic I've seen hundreds of times on social media. And there's all kinds of different variations of it, but it's basically the same concept. It's just a one frame little comic, and it's got like a chimpanzee, an elephant, a goldfish in a bowl, a bird, I think, and then like maybe a 3-year-old or something, and it's like, and then a snake, I think. And the teacher's at the front of the room, and it's like, okay, class, everybody listen up. The assignment for pass fail of this class is to climb that tree. Everybody go, and who's going to win? Who's going to fail? Who's going to succeed? Almost everybody's going to fail that. You got to do different things for each student. Everybody can't do the same thing the same way. So yeah, it's every time I see that graphic, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we could just listen, like pay attention to that, so, but anyway, all right, cool. Hey, tell you what, we are at a good spot for our last break. Let's do that. And then we'll come back. We've got another really cool testimonial to share with you. And then we're going to talk about some more cool stories and talk a little more about the program and see how you can take advantage of that for anybody you are thinking like, oh, this could be good for this person or that family. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in just a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Tired of losing cell service in dead zones? Concerned about connectivity in emergencies? There is now an answer. Introducing the Love Pod. The world's first affordable encrypted global internet Wi-Fi hotspot connects with multiple service carrier networks and is satellite assisted when no service carrier networks are available. So it works virtually anytime, anywhere. Connect up to 9 devices, like our cell phone, laptop, desktop, TV, security cam, and more. Stream, chat, text, download, and make phone calls, all with no roaming fees. With mesh capability, the Love Pods will grow in strength and speed with each new pod activated to create a private terrestrial-based intranet called Love Global Network. The Love Pods are dual blockchain encrypted with Love's proprietary 2048-bit cube chain encryption, giving you the ultimate protection in data privacy and security against digital attacks and hacks to your devices. You are no longer tracked, and your data is never sold. Get the Love Pod, your private, encrypted, portable global internet Wi-Fi hotspot, and stay safe and stay connected.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
Hey, there we go. Sorry, everybody. Hey, hit the wrong button. Welcome to Live TV. Before we bring back JoAnna, I want to talk to you about something. InvisibleCondition University. Now, InvisibleCondition University, or ICU for short, is something, man, I wish we would have had 10 years ago. Over the last 10 years, I've gone through 6 surgeries. 4 of those are brain surgeries. It's been a really interesting time around here the last 10 years. Every time I had surgery, every time I went home from the hospital, you can't take them with you. They forget your name and you're on your own, basically. That's why my wife, Catherine, and I created ICU. We wanted to provide a place for people like us, maybe like you, to find a community that listens, that cares, that walks with you no matter what you're going through, no matter where you are in the process. We meet on Zoom twice a month and, for about an hour. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but roughly about an hour to provide a very safe space for patients and their caregivers to ask questions, vent frustrations, get information that maybe they're not getting from their medical provider. We invite you all, come join us. If you'd like to learn more or receive a free month of the membership, please go to this QR code or type in myfreegiftfromjeff.com. And I look forward to seeing you there. All right. Oh, and the next one is going to be on March 18th, I think, is when the next one's going to be. February. It's not February. Anyway, all right, here we go. Let's bring back JoAnna here. Put that back up there. All right, sweet. And get the website there. And here we go. All right, so we got one more testimonial, and this one is a high school student. We're moving up. We're moving up in the world.
Yeah. So, my high schoolers. They can be a lot for parents. It's a hard one to connect again, right? They're coming out of middle school. They're all on their own. They're in that room. That door is shut.
Right.
Yeah. And I was coaching a parent and her child through. They were struggling with dyslexia in school mainly, and we implemented using audiobooks, kind of pairing that with a Kindle, enlarging font, kind of just to make the process easier of when something needed to be read. And then an assignment had to be done. And the student, I guess, went to mom after, was like, Mom, I did it. I did it. And that is what the mom shared with me. And she said when he looked at me and told me that, she just said her heart just melted because she just felt relief. Like, we figured it out. We found a way for them to be successful. And such a simple comment the child made, I did it, but filled with feeling and emotion and pride. Those 3 little words carried so much weight to it. And it just really reassures, like, this is why I do what I do.
Love it. Yeah, totally. Right. I mean, if that's not enough, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. Well, I mean, just to throw this out there, our audience, there's probably, in our audience that's watching, thank you for being here, by the way. We love you all. If you, there are people out there that probably have children in the age group that you work with, and there's probably people out there that have grandkids that are in that age group. What do you, if mom and dad aren't able to be there a lot, but the grandkids or the grandparents are, or maybe it's a different situation there, like how would you address this with, like, maybe grandparents that might be different than parents? Would it be much different?
No. It really, if you are parenting in a parenting role and a caregiving role with a student, even teachers can do this program, right? You're trying to help your student thrive.
Yes.
So we, again, like I said, I walk you through it. There's teamwork, you and me and your student, you and your student, and I'm there for you every step. You don't have to be alone. You're in a safe space. You can share the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to know all of it. And don't hold back, and don't be scared to be open about what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, and one step further than that, maybe the, because we've been in this situation ourselves. I know people that have been in this situation with little kids in school, and maybe there's a multi-generational house, right? Like maybe the grandparents live in the same house as the parents and the kids. So it's, is there anything special there that you could look at and go, with the parents and the grandparents there, maybe you would do this, or maybe you do this different or that different, or is it pretty much the same? Is it all?
Yeah, well, it's going to be tailored to what you need as a family, right?
Sure.
You're signing up for the program as grandma, right? You're kind of the lead. You're the one I'm probably interacting with the most, but it's going to be a full family effort. I've also worked through the program with separated parents. They kind of each went through it on their own for their child. And we had a couple sessions together to kind of put it all together because they were living in different households. So again, everything is adaptable to your individual needs and your individual child struggles, right? Even ADHD is a very common one that comes my way. That can look very different between boys and girls, different in 5th grade than it does when you're 5 years old. Maybe different when you're in high school again. So it's ever evolving and changing, and we'll tailor it to suit what you and your family need.
Nice. No, that's a good point. You brought up the parents that might be in different households. That's huge because there's so much of that that it makes it so hard on the student. Sometimes it's just so, that's awesome because that can be really tricky, having the two households, and how do you stay consistent? So I'm glad you brought that up because that's huge. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we have about 2 or 3 minutes left and we're done. So do you have any last parting wisdom, anything that you want to drive home that you want to make sure the parents leave here with on this episode?
Yeah, I really just want to drive home that if your child is struggling, if they're in preschool, if they're in kindergarten, I don't care what grade they're in, first grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, you know something's wrong. Usually as a parent, you have that gut instinct, and whatever interventions, if any, right now that you have in place, if your child is still leaving the house not thrilled for another day of school, coming out of school not thrilled, you're seeing changes in behavior, jump on this opportunity. Like, do not wait. Life is meant to be lived in such a fulfilled way. And why spend any day not doing that? You know, right? Yeah. Even on those worst days, find something good in it. Find something you can laugh about. Turn it around. Make it good. Like this is your chance. Now you know me. If you're watching, I'm there to help. Be brave. You don't have to feel ashamed or guilty that your child is struggling, or to reach out for help. Oh, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Oh man, I am on mute. Good Lord. I hit the wrong button. See, that's the danger of live TV. There you go. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. Yes. You know, it's easy to beat yourself up. It's so easy to beat yourself up and you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. And it's totally okay. It's totally okay to totally not know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. But don't stay there is the point. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, reach out and
yeah,
and don't
even as adults, we are students too, right? Every day you're learning. Our kids teach us lots of different things. So like you said, don't wait to reach out.
It's true. 100%. Yeah. Reach out today, scan that QR code and get in touch and see how you can help, you know? So thank you, JoAnna. Thank you so much for being here and for just sharing everything and being open to spreading this amazing information to our audience. And I hope you were taking notes, everybody, by the way, so that you will go to the website, get in touch with JoAnna. So thank you so much for being here. It was such a great time and I appreciate you doing it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Oops, I'm going to take that off of there. You can't read it now. Scan the QR code one more time. Okay, there it goes. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. This was awesome. I always learn something new every show, and I'm so excited that I do. And I'm so glad that we were able to get this information to you. JoAnna's amazing, and I hope you do scan that QR code and get in touch with her. Now, I don't know if you saw me drinking out of this, but this is new for 2025. If this looks cool and you want to, and I mean, you can, go ahead and grab one right here, right there. You can have yours. You can order yours, and you can help us spread the word. So, and so besides that, obviously everybody knows about social media. Like, follow, subscribe, share. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Share. If this is your first time here, thank you for being here. If you've been here for months or years, thank you. And join us for our next show, which will be on Friday, March 14th. And until then, have an amazing day, and we'll see you again soon.